Yes, we are live. We are live indeed. Famulema bring our warm greetings from the TNN TV media empire. Today, the 31st of July, the very last day of July 2023. And I want to bring this program here today on many issues affecting the country. We do a short monologue on yesterday, and we go do a continuation today. We go also try for make them short because the issues are developing, and as they develop, now so we try for bring and come to una. But family, I just want to remind una again today. Now, the 31st of July, the very last day of July in 2023. You're not going to see any more July in 2023. This is the final end of July. And me, when they talk to una this evening, my name Prince Emil Chroma. The program is going to be very important, very important on 2 or 3 fronts. Front one, of course, the issue of the election continue. And we get the question we asked today is whether the SLPP, now the government in power, go accede. Accede means for listen, for respect, for adhere to the demands of the All People's Congress, APC, within our opposition. And by now we all know what these demands are. And the question here today, whether the SLPP government will accede to these demands. That's one. We also want to talk about a coup in Niger, the significance of this coup, geopolitically speaking. And we want to look at why Ecowas, they put demands down as at this time, that they're even willing for act and commit troops. And why France, the colonial power, also they threaten for invade a sovereign country. And this is all within the context of sovereignty, freedom, and you name it. So Boku de Fole we talk tonight, but even though Boku, we go try for keep very close. But wanna not forget, the main thing now is elections in Sierra Leone on June 24, 2023, the demands made by the All People's Congress in opposition, and why they not take up their seats, and whether they get for take up their seats them where they win. And then the speech or the voice message or interview, okay, I think so we'll call them interview, by Dr. Prince Harding, the leader for the SLPP, the chairman for the SLPP party. Very important, your interview, but we go try for break and down. For Fambule, with the Axuna, please help for share. There's about almost 100 of us watching this live program and want to force for can listen to this program. But it can only happen if those of us that are tuned in now share this program where we can dissect. This is the TNN TV media empire. Do not touch that dial. Okay, as at this time, the number is appreciable, but we expect more. There is over 120 some of us in total because we stream live this program on different platforms. So there's about 100 and okay, the number is increasing where they watch. Una please continue for share. Fambulem, like I say again, today, na the last day of July, 31st of July, in the year of our Lord 2023. We are not ever going to see July again until the following year in 2024. But barely 1 month ago, we been hold an elections, and elections will determine the way forward. Waiting, we, the people of Sierra Leone, expect for our country within the next 5 years. The presumed winner, the declared winner, as by constitutional authority, vested in the ECSL, say, na retired Brigadier Julius Madabio, na in win. But it not stop there, because there are people of relevance, people that we lost the elections, we say, well, we agree with this revelation that we una make. These election results we una read. So waiting with the ask for, and I talk about the All People's Congress, this is no secret. Waiting with the ask for is una produce the results of these elections, also una derive the answers from. It's like when you do, if you're a student and you do your homework, when the teacher mark 'em, whatever grade the teacher arrive at, the teacher go try for broke that down for make sure say the student himself or herself understand as to how the grades given to that particular student is or was arrived at. Again, whether you work in some working place, let's say a bonus scheme exists now you working place, and for get that bonus day or a percentage of that bonus day, there is a criteria. They're not just they throw the bonus at you. There is a reason why they give you the bonus. So, for example, the bonus consists of 4 parts. A probably might be attendance. B might be punctuality, and other things them at work, maybe 4 parts or 6 parts. But if then they try for breaking down in terms of how the bonus was given or is being given to you, let we establish the bonus is £500 or $500 or whichever currency, wherever you are, where you watch this program, and then say, okay, now that this bonus by law or by company policy will have to be given to you at the end of the year because we don't make this profit, but we want people and we deserve them for get the full benefit. Everybody go get, because at some point we participate. But for encourage growth, these are the criteria we make up the makeup of this entire program in terms of giving out these benefits. So 25%, maybe they broke them into 4 parts or 6 parts. But you get for meet each and every of them criteria, then they forget the full benefit. If you don't meet each and every one of them criteria, then it is obvious that not only part of the bonus scheme now you go benefit from. The same is true of this elections results. Famulem, it can tell like say we talk about the same thing over and over. But how can we not talk about it when it's not over yet? It's still a very much of a contentious issue. That up till now, as we speak, there are questions around the results, not only from a domestic perspective, but also from an international perspective. So that has to be respected. Anyway, having said that, the idea of the bone of contention from the opposition party, the All People's Congress, is we want to see the disaggregate, I'm quoting now, we want to see the disaggregated list. And before I go any further, there are people out there, rightfully, you're saying, waiting, then feel say supposed for happen or how they see things. In other words, there is an understanding, say, there is an aggrieved party. And if there is an aggrieved party to this entire situation of election, where people do not agree with the way the result was read, how it was read, Uda became the winner, then they say, well, I've gone to court, which makes sense, go to court and go lodge your complaint. But like I said yesterday in my brief monologue, it is true that if you get a complaint, you need for go to court. But even the court get process, And even you, the one where they go lodge complaint, you have a due process for follow. So you're not just the go there. Because just like if you work in a working place, earlier on I talk about a bonus scheme in a typical fashion of a workplace. Now I want to do a complaint procedure in a typical fashion as in a workplace. In a workplace, you get for exhaust all the channels that were available at the workplace if you have a grievance against a member of your team, B, a manager, a supervisor, or anybody of a higher echelon. Because whoever you work for, a company, whatever, they get procedure. And then procedures they then determine as to by policy, waiting you get for follow whenever a situation occur. Since we talk about a grievance position now, that company they in the handbook will have outlined the procedure that you need for follow if you have a grievance. And that position they will they take a get for be within the structure of that company. Now you have to exhaust that structure there or the complaint within the company. And if you not get a redress which you desire and you intend for pursue them, then there is also outside of the company in remit something else where you can follow, where most likely now the law outside of the company will deal with the company because you cannot get redress within the company. So you get a right for take them outside of the company. So the same can be said of the procedural process of the All People's Congress, the Sierra Leone People's Party, the ECSL, and the entire conduct of the elections and the results, as was read by the commissioner. Here is the thing, Fambolem. APC say they're not satisfied with the conduct of the elections. People, including myself, they say, well, if you're not satisfied, then you have to go through the courts for making a representation at the courts of the land as to which you're not satisfied with. In other words, lodge a complaint, make a case. But when I say this like maybe a few days after the elections, after we begin hearing all of it, the opposition be they say, well, go to court. But now I don't begin for understand say it's not a matter of only going to court. Now it make a give the analogy in the situation of a workplace, like a company who say they work, a corporation who say they work. They get their own in-house rules, laws, policies where one can follow. If you're not able to get redress within the confine of that situation, the way you find yourself, then it's obvious that you can now go on the outside. We also make provision or with the overall guider for your company, the procedure. There is a respect for your company in procedure by the outside authorities, way even more powerful than your company than procedure. But then respect your company than procedure and say, if you get a grievance, you get for exhaust that grievance there within the complaint procedure of your company. If then you're not satisfied with whatever outcome of your complaint is or are, then you can then come on the outside. So this is the same situation. It's not any different with the All People's Congress. As to they say this because there are people saying that the APC need for take the complaint go to court. Well, of course, that's true. But is there not a procedure where the APC they follow at this point? And definitely there is a procedure. In other words, the ECSL, when are the umpire upon this election, where the APC not agree with the way they conduct the election, the way they announce the election results itself, the APC make representation say, we not agree to the ECSL. That process within that body, they were responsible. And family, we need for listening to this keenly. Because what they talk now, the then and now, these are the things that we want to attend to. the minute details of what is actually necessary in the conversation. So the APC need for exhaust this process in terms of the umpire. Say, well, are you responsible for this? This is why we bring this to you. If at some point the umpire not able for address the concerns or the grievance of the complainant, then the complainant can then take this outside of this fora, outside them all are a part of, and take unto a larger body, we go able for adjudicate on the matter between them and the other. Because now you need a neutral party, because one person they accuse the other, say, you've not been objective, you're not been neutral, you not address me case. The reason why they belabor on this, because it's quite important. We all the year waiting to happen, now media in particular, and then the politicians them, how they can try to manipulate family. And some people who agree in terms of this manipulation say, no, this not really supposed to happen. And so we want a redress. And you wait again, I repeat, one final time now, the umpire, if you're not able for redress or address rather the issue, then therefore the aggrieved party reserve the right for go outside of this remit and take on to somebody else. We're bigger. We get a jurisdiction over, in this case, the ECSL. The question here is, has the APC exhausted that channel? And this is not a general question for the viewing public, the listening public. And if you were to ask me, when I'm the presenter, from your opinion on this, of course I do have an opinion. I will say no. I will say no. They haven't. Because the ECSL don't they present different perspective of waiting then think without actually addressing the concerns of the All People's Congress. This is what we think. This is how we think about what we think. This is not the ECSL. One moment is like, we don't have responsibility under the law, or we don't bear responsibility under the law for making disclosure there. And it turned out for BC, and there are conflagration points. In other words, conflicts in terms of the interpretation. We need to understand the Constitution of 1991, what it say about this public body. And then we also need to understand another act of parliament, which is the Public Elections Act, which it actually say in terms of disclosure of the requirements there. So once we get this understood from Bulem, then we can make informed decisions, or even able to tell we other Fambulem, whether I'm my sister, my auntie, my sister-in-law or brother-in-law, as to what the real issues are, because there is some form of understanding. Say, the Public Elections Act of 20, waiting on the date, I would think about that, but there's a Public Elections Act. Remember, say, there was an amendment in the Elections Act, which then became the Public Elections Act shortly before the June 24, 2023 elections, in which amendments were made. Those amendments, as I understand it, and I will look for them and maybe make them public for Fambul and FOC, the Public Election Act does mandate, and I say this with a bit of pessimism, but does mandate. Hi, Kola. So hang on. Are they in the mid flow? But of course, you are a very special guy when it comes to the then and now. I'm not going to take calls, but I shall say you get something where you want to say to the program, or questions or sentiments we will express. Correct? Okay, hang on, Victor. Hang on. So, okay, please go ahead, state your name and where you are calling from, and then the floor is all yours, brother.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mina Victor Spain, Mina, one of the members of then and now Media Empire, and Mina, long-time contributor to this program. The program tonight is very, very, very interesting. So I decided for call in and help some of the supporters then. When both sides actually, mainly the all People's Congress supporters, then we not really understand the challenges we the party get. Why make the party not really actually able for pursue the normal procedure we now for higher the grievances and concerns we then get over the election. Now we cut them as alone. But that me say, make a call, make them understand. Sometimes within in the year from the bloggers and all misleading information, people don't already get the right information. So supporters we not able to digesting properly, then just they believe anything we don't read. Now let me just quickly analyze what happened during the election. Before the election, supporters or members of the All People Congress, like the Southeast, they don't get so much issues. Some not be able to vote. As short, APC not be get representative. Now, most polling station around the Southeast. So if they not be get representative, within that they mean. So evidence of voting, like them polling station and the RF forms also, they don't get them. I want people to listen properly to this point what I make. Because some people genuinely believe say APC win the election. Now I'm not here saying this election was won on the first rounds. I want people to get me clearly. I'm not saying that. But this talk with the Yeri outside, people in the shout say, oh, this election, APC being winner and the election was stolen. This is far from being correct. Now we country, we get 16 districts. If you don't campaign fully, now then district and you know send representative during polling day, you don't get. How do you expect to win that election? So me fumble them when they become agitated on social media. We believe say APC win the election. I beg una pause small, not talk to now. So most of the areas in the Southeast, APC not being get representative. So what thing that they mean? They don't know the results around this side and day. Now they depend on the ECSL for announce what APC get. Now that then side and then region and day. ECSL by law can decide say this result would they publish them in summary, which is what they did. Now people go shout, go Allah. Have they broken the law? No, sir. ECSL has broken no law. Morally, ethically, yes, we can say about ECSL on a public this result station by station, but they are under no obligation to do such a thing. Because if they under obligation, therefore they broke the law. If they mean do something contrary to within the law say, I hope say most APC followers don't listen to Cornelius Bevo. He answer all the questions here well for making people understand say APC actually not getting this. As a result, that's why they refuse for Guna Court. Mr. Prince, this now my contribution to this program. I know say many people go disagree with me, but this now that's me believe. Say APC far from winning that election we just passed on. But their supporters and they made for me them believe say, oh, they win the no, they don't win them because they don't get representative. Now many of the stations there, they were only prepared. According to Cornelius, they not even get money for campaign. How you win the election, we not prepare for. How you win election, we not get representative at all the police stations there. How you win election, we corner, you not do well. Freetown, your opponents do well. Now the north, your opponents get votes in there. Now the southeast and the south, you do poorly. How you win the election? So this the facts and what I've been just want for highlight to my fellow APC supporters that made them understand say the information we they get na social media that deceive them most of the time. Thank you very much, Mr. Prince. I will stop for now.
So just one question before I let you go in terms of you thesis where you just submit to this honorable platform, if I may say, is Mr. Spain. With all said, don't you think that if the disaggregated list on the basis of polling station, and I base the question on waiting you just say. So if the disaggregated list on the basis of polling stations were published today, that will help, for allay all these doubts in the minds of people, justify or vindicate the assertions or submissions of people like Cornelius DeVoe, and waiting you and many other people will be coming to believe. You not think say it's necessary for let that be published just for let we agree say, well, after all, Cornelius DeVoe is right, Mr. Victor Spain is right, and all the others them we basically follow that track they are right. You don't think say it's necessary for the publication of the disaggregated list by polling station for allay all and concern there is necessary?
So make I just put some context into that very good question we just asked me, sir. If me they ask for a favor from you, then I come to Mr. Prince and they say, you forgive me this. If you don't give me this, now so I go to you. Now, I just bring that analogy. It sounds very awful, but let me just go straight to waiting the All People's Congress don't do. We may believe say, in all right, the demands we did not make, they're frankly unachievable, they know that, but yet then they make a demands to an institution we frankly not obligated for do which they ask for. Now, if they ask me for do something, we na meeting at the driving seat are not obligated for do one, how do they ask me? They ask me arrogantly, or you will come down and get me for do what you want. Now, so I believe me will answer the question. Yes, it would have been a nice thing for the ECSL to do, for listening to all the concern that waiting APC say, then go police station to police station and give them the disaggregated results. But under the circumstance and the way All People's Congress, the demand for this result, you think say, if na meeting that driving city, I go adhere to the demands in it?
Well, okay, Mr. Spain, I must tell you thank you at this point. You failed for answer the question anyway in terms of what I ask you and your thesis where you submit. It was a simple, straightforward question where I ask you, but instead you continue for to develop more questions and they throw them at me. But at the same time, I respect your views and I want to say thank you very much for your participation on the program tonight. Many, many thanks.
You're welcome, sir. You're welcome.
Okay, I'm extremely happy about this. So, Fambulem, so make I just apologize and let Leona know quickly what happened just now. The whole system crash. Well, normally when you crash, the system can still run on the background, but on the system itself, where they before me, just like television, you know they get for CM. But because I don't experience this a few times, and it can happen on the basis of you get hackers who can hack your system and just try for destabilize them. And you get the natural thing itself where it can happen, where it can just crash the system. But however, the most important thing, I think we are back up and running. It will be just to get the second caller after Mr. Victor Spain. But again, Naime cannot be one take calls because calls they not begin to come, and I'll be one for address some issues. But this na Mr. Joe Vandy na your question on the page right now. Mr. Joe Vandy says, Chroma, Krona, what was wrong? I'm sure say he misspelled my name. I not believe in it deliberately. I'm Chroma, Kroma. But Chroma, what was wrong? He will have taken ECSL to court and asked them to provide desegregated data. Okay, Mr. Vandy, I shall say you've been listening. And the point I was trying to make is, and this is my own opinion, it's not certain, I don't speak for the APC, but you get a process within. Let's say you work on site. Now the analogy that they want me to try for give. If you work now a certain place, you get for exhaust that place there, the own system, the own requirement, the own complaint or procedures of any kind, shape, or form. You get for exhaust them first. So, in my own opinion, again, I believe the same is true of the ECSL. You need, or the APC need, for exhaust the ECSL procedure, which I don't believe that they've exhausted as yet. They've asked questions of the ECSL, they don't make demands of the ECSL. And you can see that the ECSL, at most points, can make attempts for answer. So it's not like they are in denial. So maybe the APC, they put all of this together, and if it's not satisfactory, then maybe they can take them out. Another theory where they understand as well is the judiciary is not one that the APC is comfortable with, because they believe that the judiciary initially was weaponized against them. And I'll give you one example shortly, and I think somebody mentioned that before the elections, the APC made representation on several fronts, cases, now the judiciary, only to notice that there were no justices, no judges for listening to them cases then they, because apparently almost all of them, if not all of them, went AWOL. AWOL, missing in action or absent without excuse. Now, how can you trust such a system? I know they say that was the case. How can you trust such a system? But if that happened, you go become apprehensive on how to deal with that. But as far as me know, in this case, is the APC still they deal with the ECSL. When the ECSL shall not meet all of their conditions, where they don't lay down, they cannot be addressed, then they will take them further. And in this case, it will look like then to the courts, even though it will appear from precedents that there is no faith, no belief in the court system. Mind you, I don't speak for the All People's Congress. But many thanks, Mr. Joe Vandy, and we'll get a few more questions then we go highlight and try for listen to throughout this conversation. But let me continue, okay? Now, one major important thing is the pressure under which, and I can't stop highlighting this because it's quite important, where the Sierra Leone People's Party, they under Julius Maada Bio, they are under immense international pressure, not from the local side, and I've said this many a times. On the local front, nobody not able for do nothing to retired Brigadier, His Excellency Julius Maada Bio. Nobody really. So power, they only give up to a superior power. In other words, if the power when we get and at the exact that power day to the maximum, nobody within what they deal with able for deal with the power when we get. In this case, I got the army, I got the police, I got the judiciary, I got everything, I got the finances, the parts of the country, they under me governance. Where all the local people them are able for suppress them. Let me hear this other caller. Hello, caller.
Yeah, yes, Prince.
Yeah, I mean you are live. I see this now American number. If you can hear, I should say you want to participate in the program. Do you?
Yes.
Okay. State your name and where you are calling from, and the floor is all yours.
I call from Virginia, Woodbridge.
Okay, and your name, sir? Hanan. Okay, the floor is all yours, sir.
Okay, thank you so much. I don't listen to some of the callers then. And you see, that country, would they be in for, would they be in? Well, I want to say thank you for everything you do, and I watch your program. And my wife, I love your program so much, and I began calling you forward.
Thank you. Tell your wife I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, I love your program so much. He say, why don't you listen to this brother? I say, I don't want to listen to people because I feel bad. But let me come to the point. You see, we're not journey to ourselves in that country there, and we will there. But I'm glad the way Muna the tell for sensitize way and waiting the happen and everything. You see that last caller we talk say APC will don't go na court, APC will not court. But first of all, let for no say for the people in that country that we pay them. Now we tax money they use. If he self we the diaspora people them or the American they support the election I consider that because of we. So we get the rights for letting sensitize with the results, police station by police station, like everybody see them. Because we know say APC not say they get problem with Madabio. No, they get problem with NEC. So let NEC make sure say them besides the results for let the court see that peace. But let me tell you one thing, I'll be the work Eastern police. We see where they go catch up thief man then Eastern police now for a bone. That the thief man say they say, can we go to Eastern police, can we go to Eastern police, can we go to police station? Because they know say when they come in 1 minute after come say they pull up. So what they do now, we know they trust to get for go to the police station, we beat them on our sufficient one for them. So if APC no go na court because they know say listen first, the 2018 where Madabio Tita election day, no ever call a case day. Look the parliamentarian and they go court and they will call a case then they just make the country just make like say people not educated in that country at all. And it's fully people now call the case and fully people. Me I support APC we're not gonna court. The reason is because if they go really go legitimate Madabio in government because they will go back and say them 2 hours away. Look what happened to with brother Charles Magai. Then go they don't dismiss the whole case. So they go back, they say the case, APC not getting no case, not saying no nothing, the left arm, they take us in outside. And like your example, we don't have the tongue. If you see you supposed to get a case, then go now to Parliament Chief. If Parliament Chief goes to say you posting you wrong, you get if the book is automatically for again for continue with the case. That country we need to do better than that. Let them make peace kind of the country. APC not ask for much, then just one body transparent. And last year again, when they say APC not get money. People and go down for volunteer for do as police all sides. They south them block people enough for go campaign, they block them. The one say way and it's way someone come out go now. Then fact guys we see when they want to assassinate them. Everybody see that for assassinate them. They file and the man come London, they go salon, they say for go 10 mutka. Then go them fact guys before you mutka, they do that. If when they call it result, we all see that thing, they know to where people will hide. Don't be truthful for God's sake. I'm an SLP possibly talk to. But people like fake and say, I SLP, if you get where I can beside me membership card, because I pay for it, I pay me membership card for SLP. But not only true. We all see that one day. For God's sake, we want peace and our country today. Then the beside the results, let everything done. And all the APC not get problem with man viewing. They don't get problem with CSL. For beside the results, everybody see the thing. If you win, they don't say win. For say if you self you have to say the election, always before say APC, not be get all police station all sides. You see the two is very close. Then they will get representative all at the south, at the place. And look what the police talk say APC not get money. When I know so I put force it.
Yeah.
When I want to Madabio go there for 2 weeks, Madabio pay all the chief them, they give them much car. Look what they we get the video they only say. Where the man where Chief Toto go talk say bad people and call people pull sit na place there. When I want get it, someone go there. Where even some small they all did it and talk against all APC all. But they pull force it there. Think about that. So if they be and then the guy who border then na the south, them born people out them. Born people far people do okay out there do they. So how we go to farm? So that make the final say. That's say you find out say if they go so around, everybody could see the nakedness of SLP. And secondly, from where SLP win the election, they begin campaign 5 years. They use government resources, use government to cap. Madam, they go and put the picture of all about the country, all of us, all see them. Put all of us. Put to the man na Poloko. Put to the man put the state. If you elect, you don't need for put to the man for guide you yourself in that place there. But they do them. They suppress, and I'll give credit to APC. 5 months or 4 months, and then campaign so then they able to do the election so. Because then put case Pasamura, we all see them when I fake case they go right now.
they suppress them, worker with make a no worker, and let the APC with the problem back again. Even about talk so that the bad people that by this will make the lost election. They say like party day, you never for deal to party. You see, some people are just hypocrites. I don't know. That is in the belly. What's there? Journalists go talk to the go pay for one bag rest. It's a shameful. At least Prince like you don't go ever do so. But before I let you go, Prince, you find nobody sensitized. We consider them with teach people about the constitution. Because if they teach people the constitution, if we don't make Mama Kona for don't take that step we take, so if we take the country first, then Mother Bill as one man. We do in America so. When we know the constitution, we know we right. When they come to the election, Donald Trump do everything. He asked for more votes. The same time as Salome asked for more votes for Coup the election. But because my friend not say the country come first than Donald Trump and boss, he beat him for the love of the country. So let them go to church, then tell them the country for let people know the rights, they will know the rights, you get right to vote, you get right. Let them just make the peace kind of country, my brother. You know, now that makes it a lot to support the SFP again. I'm SFP person. I will repeat again. They would have said, maybe know my voice saying I SFP to somebody, but they let you down. They don't make transparency. They make people say, even we win. Now, so the man is glad no more. After that, the whole country shut down. Not until the up to now. How will we win election? They shut down
so.
Why would we election? Then please don't shut down.
So many thanks, many thanks, brother, for your contribution. I just want to ask you one or two questions, here before you go, which is one. I hear you say Malabio tiffed the elections in 2018. Did I hear you right?
Yes.
Why you say so, if I may ask?
Because the thing clear, that particular election, they're very clear. They talk because they say we just want peace in the country. APC suppressed themselves. They say need election change. Everybody see that with all day. We know the result go. Like me, I know the police station. There's waiting. The happens when they don't vote on, then counter like how they do so. Then they paste at the notice board. We all see the result. You see when Ifa Ali call the result, we get 102%. You know, ever happen at the world. Then they die for God's sake.
No, it only no. But I disagree. I disagree on that note today because in the Arab countries, for example, Egypt, the president-elect can get 115%, 15% for. This thing, you gonna say like the cook this way they happen at the war. Okay. You don't need to forget security. Look what it happened one now. See how somewhere they come out and see how Mother Bill come out. Mother Bill because they scared himself and they paid himself. You know, whatever come out like how somewhere they come out without security. Yes.
But that much security.
Yes. And are they
people, we can't close people. Because if like people that love you, my brother, you please right now you go salon. We so love you anyway. You program.
Thank you.
See you right, we want to grip you no more. You want to you don't harm you.
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that. Yes, are they talk about that briefly? They talk about that briefly on this program, but before I let you go, there is an impasse in the belief of many people, and you sound like somebody with a security kind of background. In terms of the condition we find ourselves now, what do you think is the way forward? How can we break this impasse for the goodness of the country? If there is, if you believe there is one.
Okay, yes, that is one way. In a military way, I know we'll ever expect war for happen in our country, which is the one thing we can ever think of. If it matter if you kill yourself right now, we will kill 5, we will kill 10, we will kill 50. Kill that much we will compare to if we break a war in our country. Because if we break a war, a lot of citizens will lose their life. And will become, we're not going to control them.
Okay.
We're not ever able to control them. It will be very worse. So wait till me to look at it now. Mother Bill for suppressing self, because I know the king right now. I was like the president right now. And I will take down now the president. And for those who are in pride, they called Samura. They meet up one side and talk to him. Say, Samura, this is our country. We love this country. and no one no can say for happening in this country as well. We work as a team. I don't expect someone for one put time over there the government to know. But for column, then you say compensate and secret or no compensate and money. It's okay, it's still to buy by the bribe you, but any side piece to go on, we need for us compensate somebody. You don't do so far, don't say that. This is the 1,000 Olam, call the people and let us all work as a team. We see the team go before. We're not going to make election again. We're not going to try. We're not going to money. We're not starting to get money. And let the world see say we unite. Then form another country the development candidate. But if we say now we break away war, my brother, you get to family member, I get family member, military people, it become more chaos.
Okay.
And no good. You know, the one the way you know, the one no get that, it will cause more problem. To go pay people get money. You money if you below set that please, you know, say if you fetch down that they go loot.
Okay. Okay, fair enough, and I really appreciate that, and I have to let you go. But I appreciate you call today, and please express my thanks and appreciations to you, dear wife, for having the faith and belief in the then and now. And I hope so when I go share this good sentiment around Virginia and beyond, now the United States of America. Many thanks, brother.
I love the program. Now, share to me, so listen. I don't change to listen to this part.
Thank you so much, madam. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you, and goodbye. Yeah.
My brother. One piece of that today.
Absolutely. So, Fambulen, that was just another caller. When we get a few other callers while Imam in the online, we like to give people the opportunity for express themselves. But again, this is not the TNN TV media empire. And we try for be an interactive channel. Today, for example, I haven't used my mug for quite a while. As soon as I can see, we're very diverse, we're very representative, and we're very much country first. Today, as soon as I see, my mug what they drink from, na the palm tree. The palm tree is emblematic of the ruling party, the SLPP, Sierra Leone People's Party. One country, one people. And on the other side of my mug, obviously, is the platform in logo. Of course, we don't change it now. This is what we started with, but when I can see that's then and now. Okay? It's then and now. That's the Sierra Leone People's Party. Cheers to everyone. Thanks for tuning in, and let's continue with the program. So we get over 500 people in the watch, and at the Apc'S family, we continue for share. I get one friend we can always say, the number there we can call now true. 500 people watching. The other day we get 3,000 live viewers, and that was a breaking record. Yeah, but it is true. There's no need for let we say something which is not real. Yeah, okay. The numbers can fluctuate, like from 510 just now, it don't come to 485. But two platform the normal way we do this program too. So if you watch them on Facebook, you probably go see 100, 200, or 300. But me they see the main base, which is about 496 people and watching. Please let's double this. So let's move back again to what you will be in the talk. Okay. So the honors day on the ECSL, to be honest, in my opinion, because the APC need for exhaust a particular channel of grievance or complaint. If they not get any redress, then they can move on, even though I know say, because I don't read this a lot, that there is no faith in the judiciary. Now, let we go back to the judiciary, because we get people that we can say, you know what, they say APC, they win case Naya, they win case against Dr. Sylvia Blinden, they win case against Dr. this and that, and what have you. The issue here is, while this is true, but how material are these cases that they won as against the cases that we exist now, which is about the existence or the challenges where the APC they pose to the ruling government. So the ruling government can say, but then una say una not get faith in this judiciary of ours, but this same judiciary don't render judgment in una favor. But what were these judgments that were rendered in their favor, in the favor of the APC? Was it significant? Was it material to change something material in terms of an outcome we would disadvantage the Sierra Leone People's Party? No. And that's what people need for look into. Fambulem, Sierra Leonean them, we need for be wise. We need for raise we game. Now, I want to move on to the issue of Dr. Prince Harding, a very prominent Sierra Leonean politician who has been na the Sierra Leonean politics for the last 3 decades plus. He's an older man now, but he was a younger, vibrant, very, very active politician. But of course, everybody getting time, and your time not mean say because you don't age, because you can position yourself even in your older age for represent or perform duties which is representative of the kind of age that you are carrying, such as being Dr. Prince Harding. Love him, hate him, but that's what he's been. Very relevant in the Sierra Leonean politics for many, many decades. Even this president tried to get rid of him at one time because we've been doing a brilliant program on that. The SLPP constitution is straightforward, that the leader and chair of the party is a very powerful man. We do this some 3-4 years ago because on we not can understand this whole configuration of political parties them and representative or the official them. So Dr. Prince Harding at this night be represent because he been carried in 2 positions there and been a very powerful man to a point where elections been come for the SLPP. Dr. Prince Harding, as chair and leader of the party, can determine who that will be the flag bearer of the party. In other words, Marabio, when are the president, we one run again, Dr. Prince Harding been there in a powerful position. If none they get along, for withdraw and say, you know what, we get a different party candidate for this year's election, other than you will be the president as powerful as you are. That's the diktat of the party. The president realized that, and the president tried to water that down. They went into an argument, serious argument, in which they tried Prince Harding. They tried to get rid of him. These are facts. But as old as a fixture as Prince Harding is in the SLPP, he nicknamed a bullet, and then they shine under Pakambai in government. He prevailed because why? He's a very clever man, a clever politician. We don't plant in roots, and then roots then they are shooting out, and they are providing some kind of succor for him. So whilst in the middle, he is safe. That even the president, as powerful as he is, he triumphed inside the party. Dr. Prince Harding did not give up. He fought hard and he prevailed. And try to get rid of him. Because why? Then try to break this powerful position of one person holding the leader and chairperson of the party. Where election they come, it go threaten people like Manabio and say, you know what, we need to put you forward. Will they put somebody else forward? So then fed him. But he fed back and he survived. Then fed him with, he survived. So what you do eventually, politics, then reward them. I think that woman they now in at the talk about Mrs. Prince Harding. Now in now the chair for the national I don't forget the name of the company, a massive government entity, massive. Now in at the chairperson, the chief executive of that company there. And even though they watered down the position of chair and leader of the party, Dr. Prince Harding still retain one of the position them. These are facts. Having said this, recently, barely 48 hours ago, Dr. Prince Harding do a very powerful interview na one of the local radio stations. And in that interview day, I want to play on phone, and in fact, I look for him. No, that would be a waste of time. Because I know say almost everybody don't hear him, and because we not get time in with favor, so we're not able to go into RAM. But Dr. Harding, in that interview the way he do, it sounds like somebody really appealing to the opposition party. We don't take a belligerent, a recalcitrant position opposing the ruling party, and they try to make life difficult for the ruling party by saying the positions that we won, we are not going to take it. We need to take them position in there. Because why? The All People's Congress don't table actions them whether they expect the SLPP for look into and address the action in there. But the question here is, will the SLPP do that? In my humble opinion, I don't think so, because the demands of the All People's Congress, I still feel say they are reasonable, but reasonable to people who are reasonable, and I'm not implying, insinuating in any shape, sense, or form that the SLPP is not reasonable. But when you're then at the receiving end, the question is, how reasonable can you be? And especially then demands in the way they threaten your very existence or waiting you expect for be or continue for be. The SLPP eventually want for continuing power, and APC, they threaten this power of theirs. They are contesting this power, say, it's not legitimate, and they're asking for a rerun. And that begs us into the question where we ask now the topic of this conversation here tonight: will the SLPP accede? In other words, will the SLPP surrender, accept, listen to the demands of the APC? The answer for me is no. So that brings me back to Dr. Prince Harding in interview yesterday. I wonder what's the time now, getting a little bit confused, forgive me. But like I say, it's barely 24, 36 hours ago. And that brings me to this particular interview. How serious is Dr. Prince Harding? And I can tell you, Nafambo, this is all hot air. Now, Dr. Prince Harding been a spill. There is no sincerity in what he say. Remember, say, all waiting the doctor talk, address the concerns of the All People's Congress. Did he? No, he did not. But that should have been at the forefront of the conversation, or whatever you say. That we agree with brother, then I so then say. But for just dismiss them outright and say, well, as Sabi, then we all are causing them and what have you, and we have to resolve them. And 50 years ago, the Germans then they get war, but then listen to themselves. You not be the same person where they on media we condemn outrightly, saying that the people that really try for interfere, then are idiots. You insulted them outright. Failing for no say, and I've said this over and over, and these are all facts, that contribution to the sustenance of your government, it depends on the charity or mercy of other people and outside of your domain. Outside of your domain, not even if within the African setting, but within the European or Western setting. Over 50, if not 75% of budgetary allocation for your government is being paid at the mercy and taxpayers, and I'm included because I pay tax to this government, but I'm happy that they use them tax for help with your country. But then you find out that the country not appreciative of it, or they want to play politics by challenging the Western government. How realistic can this be? Are you dumb? Are you an idiot? Are you that foolish that the hand that feeds you, that you want to challenge them? I've made this analogy before. Typical example. If you get your dog na house, you get your puss na house, or you get a pet, or even you own picking them, the reason why they listen to you is because you cater to their needs. The dog cannot fend for themselves, or for herself or himself. Neither will some animals, like puss, for example. I have a cat, my daughter here get a cat as a pet. Then depend on we, the prime human being, them for feed them. If we cannot, they will go elsewhere or they will perish. But then look up to you. And if you can't feed them, then that means you bear no responsibility. It's the same thing. We depend on the white people. for let them feed we, for let them help we. And then when we're ready, just because of selfish ends, we try for dismiss them. And that brings me back again to Dr. Prince Hardin in interview. There are a couple of things they want to take away from the it not address the concerns of the APC, even though it try for make like say they are making overtures to the APC. Oh, then why are we all not bother them as them have been in politics, me brother-in-law, my sister-in-law, and then our APC, even though in our SLPP. That does not address the crux of the matter. It does not. So we expect Dr. Prince Hardin for do far more better than that. We know say the government of President Bio, especially in parliament, then get the majority. So in many respects, along with the chiefs who have already pledged their allegiance to the ruling government, anything where the government wants will pass, despite the APC being in there. So the APC in being in there and participating in parliamentary politics, which is a necessity for pluralism, multi-party democracy, but won't make much of a difference other than an exercise, academically speaking. Say, well, then they are participating, and that gives legitimacy to exercises that will be pursued by the ruling government. Famulem, Sierra Leonean people, we need for wise up. We need for gap. We need for speak truth to power. We need for avoid, this labelism. Labelism is real. It's really real. If we only put the two parties aside and first of all look at our country, like some of us do, before we factor in political parties, then that will help a long way. Because the bottom line is, from historical perspective, neither of these two parties have been really great for the country. And this is true, very, very true. But then continue for play on us. Then continue for make things them, pronouncements them where only they divide we as a people. How long can we carry on with this? And this brings me come to the international side of things, the coup in Niger, because we have to end this program shortly. We all know say there's been a coup in Niger, and some time ago, there was this pronouncement saying that coup has become unfashionable because now being fashionable thing in Africa. Every other country, movement, you hear about coup, whether now being the Republic of Liberia under Samuel Doe, where we say there was a coup plot there. Whether there was a coup plot in Sierra Leone under Valentine Strasser, and then a palace coup by retired Brigadier Julius Maada Bio, with current head of state, there was a coup there. Whether it was through Lansana Biavogi in Guinea-Conakry, where Lansana Conte died, who was overthrown by some other military government, and then Dadis Camara, who was shot in the head and overthrown as well, and exiled, there was a coup there. And then we say we make them unfashionable. But by 2020, it's beginning to look like, say, it's not fashionable business again, because since then, we have between 6 or 7 coups that have happened in Africa. And we need to understand, why are these coups happening today? Why are they? But that will be the subject of an entire discussion on another day. But what we talk about today or tonight, now the coup happened in Niger. Niger is a West African republic which is more famously known for yellow cake. Yellow cake, now a maxim which was used back in 2000, in the early 2000s, when the United States, along with Britain and other Western allies, we want to go invade Iraq. Because Niger, they produce uranium, now referred to as yellow cake. Somewhere, George Bush been make a speech somebody managed for put into George Bush's speech say Saddam Hussein they pursue yellow cake, in other words, uranium. Uranium, what they use them for make nuclear weapon. So they say Saddam Hussein they pursue him in Niger, which was totally untrue. It was never true. But somehow they put on there. All of these couple of lies precipitated war in 2003, the invasion of another country, which caused genocide and then, crimes against humanity for which none of these Western leaders have been held accountable by the ICC. But somehow, Vladimir Putin in the East, for saving children, taking them from one point inside a war zone for put them in a safe area, they accuse them of abducting children, which is a war crime if that is the case. But this is not the case. So then charge them with war crime. And now then they try to pursue them. But none of this was applicable to George Bush and Tony Blair. Double standards. Going back to how you call the country, Niger, we see say there's been a coup in this particular country. And the military did not take over. Fambulem, do we know that every light bulb, 3 light bulb them where they born na Niger? Yeah? Every 3 light bulb them where they born na Niger. Yeah? One of them na as a consequence of the yellow cake, uranium, where they come out from Niger. Because after all, every the form of energy in France are nuclear. And for power then nuclear reactor, then you need uranium. So they get uranium for cheap. So they get the uranium for cheap. Now from Niger, now they get them for cheap. Hello, caller, you want to make contribution to the program? Hello. Hang on. Hold on. Yeah, so we get one more caller from Germany. So if you just go ahead and you name once more, please, and then Usai they call from, and the floor is yours.
I say my name is Ibrahim. I come from Germany.
Yes, Ibrahim, go ahead with what you want to say.
Yeah, I just want to ask some question because since you're a media man, you know a lot about what happened at the country more than we, because now they bring their information there to we. You know, since SLPP can have power to this time around, and the atrocities they would not commit, killing people, detaining people unlawfully, bastardizing the constitution. You think, say, if you change of power, therefore, be in that country tomorrow, you think that they will go free? You got any idea?
Well, no, I don't have an idea, especially the way how you posed the question. But we do know, say, that when a government is in power, all those killings them unconstitutionally, unjudiciously, it can create a division between the governed and the governors. And after a while, it can become an issue. Other caller, when you try for call, if you can hold your patience, please, we will call you back. Continue from Germany, please.
Okay. So, what am I concerned? You see that country, now one people we intermarried, we interrelated, one way and the other, we go school together. Since we experience this democratic process in a salon during Pakabai time up to this time, I never see a division will not occur than this regime. Because waiting at the is when this SLPP, especially this BO in SLPP, it's like saying now a revenge they just can't put on the people. I don't know whether they get the people.
Lawrence, now for hold the line. I will call you back. Thank you. Carry on, Germany, please.
Yeah, I don't know whether this SLPP BO regime it can for revenge on the people or waiting for the people and we don't do them bad or waiting. You know, there is nothing beyond regime they should say yes. In upon somebody where they vote for, and not to one people they vote for them, that the whole country vote for them, as they say majority. Any president when they come through democratic process, the majority they vote for you. But
Okay.
you can see the injustice where they happen at the north and the northwest, and the justice where they happen at the south and the southeast. Where did they happen at that country? You get any idea? May tell me?
I think it's a fair question. Although I not go with you, all the way, 100%. But it is politics. If you juxtapose the same position caller from Germany, you will see, say, had it been the APC, it would have been almost the same problem because they will have taken control of everything else, now the system, and they control them in their own way. So the SLPP is doing the same. But mind you, having said this, I am not of the opinion or notion that two wrongs can make right. Because after all, assuming that the APC of the past made many mistakes and then lost the elections in 2018, and when they lost the elections, the current government promised the people of Sierra Leone a new direction. The question here is, has there been a new direction? If we say yes, which could be true, but what is this new direction? Is it helping the people of Sierra Leone? I mean, there are many questions we can ask in this regard.
It's killing the people of Sierra Leone, and then it's separating the people of Sierra Leone. It's putting division against within the people of Sierra Leone. It's building grudge within the Sierra Leone people. We don't like this thing to happen in a country because Bio promised us that he will come with a new direction. How can the new direction do more work than the past government? Is it a new direction?
Okay, Germany, just a final question because we get a few people that will try for call and make contribution as well. What are your hopes for your country? How you see how the country will go? Are you any hopeful? What do you hope for? See?
Yeah, me as still go to another country. I hope to see peace, but the way the country they go, I know wish that, but the country sit on a time bomb. A time bomb because a lot of people are not tired with waiting they go on. This one it just take a little bit of trigger, then it started all over again. Like we don't come on for the past 20 years. Now this will they try to prevent.
Okay.
Now this will they try to talk about. The government when they in power, if for be a father of the country, open heart and welcome everybody and treat everybody as equal as any other person.
Okay, fair enough. And many thanks from the call from Germany. And please spread the word now, Germany. We really appreciate your call here tonight. Thanks, brother.
You're welcome, brother. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, that was Germany. And just for answer, Sister Aina May quickly, you say which crime has Bio committed? Is winning a crime? Sister Aina May, I not think so. Maybe some people then they express the view in that fashion, but generally this platform is not saying that and it's not representative of that as well. But we do have a position in which we say, well, others are contesting the way how the president win the election, and the president himself, along with the official, especially the speech given, the interview by Dr. Prince Hardin, is indicative of that, how for men fences, because after all, everything not go well, but we only have one country. But many thanks for your contribution. Let we return some calls them quickly and try for bring this program to an end. We try for move on to the international scene. I was trying to move on to the international scene. Okay. Hi, caller. I believe you want to contribute to the program. If this is the case, you name and who say you call from, please.
Hello, Mr. Prince. How are you? Alaji Musa, the call from London.
Yeah, fire away, please.
Right. I listen to your program most of the time. And I tell him plenty thank you because we try to enlighten a lot of people them regarding what happened in our country.
Thank you.
Actually, me now one thing I can always say, two wrong, not they make one right, they progress we, they can go before.
Absolutely.
This we not expect say if APC don't do bad, we expect SFP come, the SFP can do the same thing. Otherwise, we continue to ever go before. Let them try for set a precedent for say, which may not happen, they will try for wipe out completely. Because as things stands at the moment, yes, APC they don't boycott. They're not able to go to court because of the confidence. Because everybody know me is what gets me sense upon another country. I find out say no institution not the winner a free and independent institution. And as long as we're not able to get free and independent institution of the country, the same thing will continue to happen. For presently, APC whether they're going to parliament or they not go, it don't make no sense to a lot of people, including me, because I make a talk so, especially get majority, and get the chief them. So any law they go pass, they go pass them. And I will tell you for free that if APC they venture for go na parliament or then go na court, we don't go throw the case away. International community recognize them. Matter be go either go for a third term, fourth term, or fifth time, or extend the time of lifespan of partner that the president for be like 7 years instead of 5 years. And then actually it don't. So all them theory they talk about why did they pressure APC for letting go? For make sure say they able to get their way through. Just as you be rightly say, Malik Prince Adi, we don't hear what we don't talk before. For say I like na dog them put the we be to say Astagfirullah, we no go ever dream of any kind of thing say them go support her. How comes in the can't talk say, oh, they were now people and our brother they didn't come? It don't make sense to me.
Absolutely.
It don't make sense because waiting until the truth, because people they talk about peace. But if justice not the peace, no go ever in another country. All the imam them, the pastor them, all the atrocities will be not happen. Why will they not come out for talk? The truth, for them we will get peace in that country. Secondly, the one the way they are civil societies and organization them, una they go big for position them, now the government for long na be prime minister or member of parliament or whatever position una want. Who say we will get people who go talk for we? Now we don't talk. Now we don't talk. Because if the APC not able to contribute to the government, definitely the Western world no will recognize. And the support way they can be talking no more. The support will be the blanket from the people here, will be to see within here with the work with the pay taxes for support young people in BND. Apart from the money will be the send personally. We're not saying the country will go beyond. Like the promises will be don't promise the country, the nation, who's the money will come out. Because even the serious investors them, you go see the kind of government where they run before I go put your money there. Because in government will advise I say if you go to this place here, if you don't get any problem, you don't go put hand because you see how the country there. So this is the issue. When you need to say if true no day, justice no day, for that will go before, that's a big problem. So it will better if they don't get sense for let them come back to the drawing table first. You know what's happen? They'll try to bring the justice, low society go wrong, they'll try to make this country go before. Otherwise, we will continue for suffer. Because most of the people when they talk, say, oh, the election not done, let them continue. Some of them oversee her. Then they enjoy democracy, then they enjoy their freedom. They don't know. Let them come on and let them go to the freedom. Let them continue for suffer. They can't go they suffer. Then go say, what's happen? This is the reality. They don't find for this too. But some people, when they know they feel the pinch because they abroad, go to the opportunity, they go within IASU, they eat, they ride the car, they go walk. All thing fine for you. So anything you want to talk, they talk no more. But let you go sit on a free zone today, on a salon today, let you see the reality. You don't get a job. Who say they go? And ministers there, members of parliament, what's in a petrol, they don't know because they get them free. What's in arrest, they don't know because they get them free. What's in a rentals, they get they don't know. So any student can talk.
So waiting.
I me your sister when a deputy minister that this government here. But one day I'm not the supporter, I'm not the call myself. So now my contribution and Mr. Prince.
Yeah, and just before you go, brother, many thanks, for calling the program, and I really appreciate, your time, and I believe say callers them regardless of which part of the argument we are, the idea is the common denominator, we are all Sierra Leoneans. But what do you think is the way forward?
The way forward is very simple to me. Mohamed Kone, you don't announce the result. APC, they don't get problem with SLPP or another person, they get problem with the government. You, the ECSL, will conduct the elections. Come out and tell the people and say, okay, this is not the disaggregated data, this by police station. Let you see what can happen next. If you believe, say, the number, what you call a true number, because the justice already talk about, and I way forward and they.
Yeah.
Because APC no one for legitimize SLPP, their rule. When they go past any law tomorrow, we to say they're not going to know it. It's just when they get a good number in the parliament the past 5 years, they never will nothing. You see how people in first day, how they take some money in a prison, how they do some money. So now we wouldn't get a less number. It don't make sense to me. It don't make sense because we should they keep passing the road they go for pass and get this paramount they go for back them. You see?
Yeah.
So if ECSL believe say that the correct thing they do, let them come out and publish what they get for publish. Let us see what ABC will get for standard because it's not the board of contention at the moment.
Okay.
But no man talk to the just ask us, let go before. I will go before that man they cry. He said they no cry, like no more. Mr. Prince, look, if we want to people the suffering done at that country, and they always compare the Rwanda, Botswana, Tanzania, the Eastern African countries, and they make improvements to the lives of the young people in terms of electricity, in terms of water supply. One day till they vote and they make the election, or you know the presidential candidates go talk, say, "Wow, come on, this is the kind of group."
Okay.
It's not the same place that we know.
Okay.
So he says that the whole thing. APC don't get problem with the SLP government, but now this time don't bring me to me on doubt say why make SLP for folk against case will not concern una. ECSL and APC then get the problem. Let us say to this matter, then we see something for people. I mean, I think so that the way forward and day.
I absolutely agree with you, brother. Many thanks for your contribution. You are spot on. Many thanks.
No problem.
Thank you. Welcome. Okay, Fambulena, the word is now with the talk. We still get a few more callers them, and we will try for take as many calls them as possible as we can. Let me see whether we can do a call back to this brother who has been calling. Yeah, let's maybe hear it from this brother. Hello, caller.
Yes, good afternoon, Mr. Prince.
Yes, good morning, good evening. Your name and also you the call from, and then the floor is yours, please.
Concerned citizen calling from the Washington area in the United States.
Fire away, please.
Okay, so I believe the question that you are asking, what is the way forward?
Mm-hmm.
And for me, the way forward for me, what we don't see, both sides must come together and sit down and talk to each other. You know, the SLPP and the APC need to sit down and find a way to move forward. I know an earlier brother in the talk said the problem between the APC and the ECSL. Yes, to some extent, but APC have given up their rights to challenge ECSL. And the way you challenge ECSL for release those data, now through the court system. You say you don't go trust the court system. You go say, all that, that's fine. I can agree to some of that to some extent. But what do you tell the Australian people then, if you a political party will not challenge the court system, don't believe in the justice system, what thing they don't tell all of us in the country?
So concern caller, let's just ask one quick question of you, and my apologies for interjecting in your mid-flow.
Sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So earlier on this program, first of all, they subscribe to the view that the All People's Congress, if they do have any grievance, they need to go to the courts for have it settled. But
Absolutely.
Many days and weeks after the elections, I have had this different perspective, and the different perspective is this. While I still believe they need for going to court, but I made a reference or an analogy earlier on this very program in which I say, if you work on side, you workplace get a policy or handbook or rules the way they govern the workplace. So if you get a grievance, you get for exhaust it within that workplace structure, and if that no work, before you they come outside of it for can seek redress for a side which is more bigger or get a persuasion over your entity or your company. So now, so I don't begin for look and say, well, the ECSL line are the umpire, and the case day between the APC and the SLPP. So then lodge complaint, first of all, to the ECSL, and they wait for the ECSL for prevail. If the ECSL doesn't, and then they will move on outside of the court system. This is not just my own thesis. I don't know how you see them, but continue, please.
I mean, it's a great thesis, but in this system that we have, we must operate within the system that we have until we change them, right? And the way it is set up right now, if you have a problem with an election, you go through the court system. Let me give the majority of my people an example. Those of us that live in the United States.
Yeah.
Today, we have a Supreme Court that is 6 conservative majority, right?
Yeah.
The liberals in the court are only 3, so we'll get 9 people Supreme Court in the United States. So today, in the democratic process in the United States, most Democrats believe that majority of the cases that they will take to the Supreme Court, they will lose. And based on the number and stats for the last 2 years, that is the case. But they still continue to go to the Supreme Court, because that's what we have. And my other brother, where he talk about representation, that APC numbers are so small, that does not matter. You go to, I mean, we have states in living at the West. He knows that you get minority party, then there's sometimes in a 1% number, sometimes in a 2% number. We get legislatures in the United States, in the southern part of the United States, or even in the western part of the United States, where the legislators are Republican dominated. You probably have maybe in a whole legislature, say, for example, of Utah, you don't have more than 10 Democratic elected members, not the legislature, but then still they go in, even though they don't even get a platform to pass any bill. But it is their responsibility to represent their people, even though they think not fair. I know people like to compare America quite a bit. In the American political system, too, it's not fair. They know about the gerrymandering. They know about the gerrymandering that takes place and affect elections in America, big time. We have a Republican Congress today, dominating Republican Congress in America today, but they are the minority party based on gerrymandering. So, I mean, there's a problem with democracy, but you have to find a way to work with it. I'm not comparing America to Sierra Leone. I know all the people that come back on the phone and go off on me. Not to that, I know one comparing that. But the point that I just try to give snapshots of example, but we need unity now with land. If President Bayou, the best way, bring APC up, talk to them, include them in the government. I mean, if it been left for me, you know what I have been do? I have been even put Dr. Samura, the Supreme Court, and Justice to retire, and put them in there. Yeah, just to balance things out.
Okay.
You know, just to bring, because what do we need now with land? We need trust, my brother.
Okay, concern caller. Where I mean, while she's on the line, we've had like 5. This is now the 6th call. You know, here they come in. So, can I just ask you quickly? What do you think is the way forward out of this? Me consider for be an impasse, because obviously it looks like saying that this night they happen. We haven't reached a consensus. We already the leader of the SLPP party come out today in an interview. They say we need for have a conversation, which is something that we know. We don't need somebody for can tell we this, but there is an impasse, a political impasse. Parliament supposed to get an official sitting on August 3, official opening of Parliament. Yet the APC, as much as I understand and concern, is they are not going anywhere. Then they still hold their position. So you, as an observer, political analyst, you know, what do you think is the way forward? How do we get out of what we find ourselves in?
Well, hence, Naya, we need statesmen like EBK, former president. You know, Naya, the only living president today we will get. And I believe majority of us still respect the man, you know, even if nothing else, and respect the office where they occupy, right? I believe EBK, someone like him, and some other leaders, we know they on either side need to step in. If Mr. Kuruma will step in and be a mediator between these two groups, it will help greatly. I mean, at the end of the day, again, my brother, now for we country, for let we country go forward. This stalemate is not good. And just to pass this on to, inside this to go, we look at the, I know that this patch you can't go with right now on the entire, how this they affect the whole region. We see coups and we see the stability in the region right now. No, no include Sierra Leone into all this stability in the region, because the region right now is very, it's a serious problem that Naimik and like what Ecowas don't give that country, those military coup leaders a week. I hope they stand by. You know, we need to stop this nonsense. You know, but anyway, let me give other people a chance for jumping into. Thank you very much for your time.
Many thanks. As usual, you are always very much appreciated. Thank you so much.
Appreciate you, brother. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, Fambulem, again, we continue with the program on will the SLPP accede to the APC's demands? We think, say, these are difficult positions, but we'll get caller them when they call. So we'll get in position then as then they talk. Hi, caller, your name and who say you call from, please. Hello, caller. You hear me?
Yeah, Mr. Prince. How are you, sir?
I am very well. Yourself?
I'm very well, thank you.
So what's in your name and who say you call from, please?
With me, Ahmed, right from UK.
Okay, Ahmed, the floor is all yours.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Prince. I do appreciate your program all the time, you know, and your analysis are very much in place.
Thank you.
Yeah, you ask a question the way forward. You know, listen, my brother, we can't go forward when the back is not, you know, organized. You know, if you keep going forward, where you're coming from, you know, it's not well in place, then it's a fruitless endeavor. You see, what's happening in our country, we all see, this is not about party, you know, color, SLPP, APC. No. You know, if we not try for correct the wrong now, the same old politicians then, they are stupid. You know, the thing is, you know, God make it simple that people like you are now on the social media today. What did happen today when I go analyze and break them down for people? It was not happening before.
Thank you.
It was not happening before. 10 years ago, no, nobody gets interested over politics as alone. But today, this is the mistake Marabi is making. Today, he made that big mistake, failing to realize that he come on governance on the same system. By then Tiano be too, you know, like the way they are today now. 5 years now, look today. Even the villager has a phone, a smartphone to record, to send videos, to send messages all over social media. We have thousands of groups, some of who belong to thousands of groups within the country. And these are common people. So you go for free these people. You know, they stop elites, these people in governance, they feel say, you know, then we will go do things like end scot-free. No, not anymore. We therefore resist. And we therefore speak truth to power until and unless we do so before we go forward. The question they ask, how can we go forward? Some of the colleagues, the brothers, they continue to say, let APC come, when they come in coverage of financial issues. It's not possible. You're not going to work with this present power government. For me, I accept. No. We need to straighten things for tomorrow. For tomorrow, we need to clean the system. If we continue doing this kind of things, when people say it's not right, the international body says it's not right, the Commonwealth says it's not right, the Qatar Center says it's not right, and the European Union says it's not right, even Ecowas and even African Union, then within ourselves we say, no, we just sweep under the carpet. No, my brother. I don't feel say that is right. When you say this, people on the other side, they don't ever agree. The election, no, now. Moku go forward, Moku call Samura, Moku call Aneskuroma, Moku call the religious. Where are these religious leaders before? Where are the pastors? Are they dead? Where are the imams? These people, they see all what they happen. Imagine people then die during protest August 10. This guy called them terrorists. They bury them. Some of them, they are innocent people. You see them, they burn them from their houses. They bury them. The president is not going to give those body. And he pull money, give them. And he says it's a befitting burial according to the information minister. And we accept. People sit down dumb. Imagine that, Mr. Prince. Think of all of the episodes and they wouldn't pass. Is that right? You citizens, you call them terrorists, you kill them, you bury people, you kill them, people murder them. Some of them innocent, they are not even in the protest. As I'm speaking now, so some of them are still in prison. And we talk of peace. Where is the peace? The truth is what brings peace. If you get a problem with your friend or your brother, and your brother is wrong or right, say, my friend, this is where you're wrong. This is where you get right. And then that's come together. But this we talk about election. Election. People come out and vote. They want for votes. They vote for making them voice their heart. And then somebody steal that election. We watch the program. We see ballot boxes. For God's sake, when this don't go to Guinea to borrow ballot boxes, which election is that? Let somebody come in association tell me now, they say we don't go borrow box them. They do that because they get a motive. Why did they bring all of this PR system? Now look at the PR system today. Why did they bring all these census? Census was 10 years. Now they say every 5 years. They do a midterm census. Just because they want to justify that. Kenema has more people than free term. Look at all the things there. We'll see.
So if I can ask you, brother, just because of time constraint, how you think say we can get away from the current situation where we did inside? So again, you get the question, but you don't answer them. How do we get away from Usai we fend we self? What is the way forward?
The way forward for me, is like I said earlier, we get for speak truth to power. We're not going to go forward with this kind of result, Mr. Prince. We get for make them plain and clear. Moku no come say, Moku can make meeting, Moku call the Pope, Moku call meeting, and Moku can talk come, and for more people that one party accept. No. Let's go back. If it's possible, and I'm sure it's going to work, if only those concerned can step in, make them go back to election, make the thing come more free and fair and credible. Other than that, even they therefore can't say many some people can work on this government, they don't work with their mind.
Okay.
Because you don't do on back of your mind. And it's truly sexual. Because if you don't bring the plain thing, people will not ever be happy. Mr. Prince. And
okay. My final question to you will be because there was the question of what's the way forward, and then you articulate that. But do you think that's a realistic prospect? Because I understand now election rerun, which is one of the conditions of the APC. For one term is different from in the happening reality. What do you think? You think it's going to happen? It will happen?
Well, if it happens, I think that's the only way forward. Other than that, now, look at the stalemate we're into now. Look at our economy today. And these people, Mr. Prince, we don't need an part of this country. When we say you lack integrity, you lack that. When they get doubt, they don't go for step down.
Okay.
If they say Qatar Center will reverse again the decision which they don't talk, or the UK or the EU. No. They don't do that. Otherwise, we don't mortgage with integrity.
Okay.
So they look forward to me now. So for me, even they get for me government of national unity or this, in order for work for the will of the people. So they therefore swell all of that and we make a real one. That might be the only way forward. One believe say it could solve the problem. Other than that, I know say suffering could come, but what could suffer at once to make things go right. Look what is happening today now. Because we don't see the past 5 years, Mr. Prince. Me and you see, you don't analyze so many things that what happen. Do we want to go back on repeatedly on the same issue, no progress? Do we want such a government for making a run and country like this?
Okay.
So we all sit down and say, we get very intelligent people. Where are the intelligent people?
Okay, fair.
Say, we move forward.
Okay.
Just forget. No. What could not forget? What could shy away from all this forgetfulness and this prayer? Too much of fasting, prayer. They pray for England. They fast for England. They fast for America.
Okay.
They count spiritual things for when they kill with spirit them. Now they use them big people there for making them pray. Then they go now that come make he can't pray. Why they nobody pray before?
Okay, brother.
And I make them consider develop.
Okay, brother. Brother, we go.
Stand firm for more to make sure the right thing is done.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much, Mr. Prince. I do appreciate you. And we say, I very much appreciate and say hi to the family. From time to time, I can really see you when you flex around, and that's good. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I know say me back covered, but thank you for your contribution. I appreciate you. Yeah. And Fambul and I will talk about today, and we get few people, and we still try for call for make them contribution, but we try for give everybody an opportunity for make them, you call them objectives known. 3100231. Where is this? Is this Liberia or somewhere? Let's see. No, that's not Liberia. 31. Let's see. Zero 0231. Hello, caller.
Hello.
Yes, if you can just state your name and who you they call from, please, and then you can go ahead.
Oh, okay. I don't call my name, but I call from Holland.
From Holland, 231. Okay, I've been a struggle with that. Okay, yeah, fire away, please. What's your contribution to the program?
Yeah, okay. My contribution. That one of people like they talk say election don't pass, Mother Bio win the election. The things show clear one say Mother Bio no win this election. And number two, anybody with the right senses, they go no for Sierra Leone and they no vote for not to say that you know they say SLP, they don't vote for Mother Bio. Like that August 9 and 10 people they will die the way Mother Bio treat them body they did. Whether I eat them now or now to sacrifice they do their body because the people they not see their body there. Now one call I talk about that just now. Now they are just cross my mind because me I don't know what for talk safe. Okay. Anyway, I don't know what for talk right now because I don't problem then I'm in neck.
Okay.
For some APC then take an easy and this that all that threatening when they threaten is APC no go they go take their seat all that threatening. Because Mother Biono for saying now you know go able to do anything without the APC party no they go na parliament. It tight for them. So anyway, now God take control and I didn't want a new contribution.
Yeah, it's a good one, sister. But before you go, I'll just ask you one or two quick questions. When you open this conversation on the platform where the whole world on your EU, and I can assure you, say tens of thousands of people get for your view. You say it show clear, say Mother Biono win. You want for explain a little bit, not too much, on why you say it show clearly, say Mother Biono win. Why you say so?
They will not even steer for tell me. Sierra Leone they don't vote for Mother Bio. With all the kind of thing where they go through the country. And the other clear team back again. Why this ECSL or whatever Mohamed Corner, what I need? Why they don't try for give the APC the demands, what they ask for? What is this thing like say Aporo society on Abu Bush? I don't understand. It's so very clear. We don't need a seer.
Okay.
They don't win the election.
Okay. Holland.
We black man, no go to saloon. Now make Africa know they go before. We go see the truth, so people in the past and beat around the bush. Everyone could forget this how for do, especially Salon. I know I'm ugly. How for do.
Okay.
We see the reality to the bypasser. Now they don't win the election. This na kuku jumuku business they do.
Okay. I want to say many thanks to you. We really appreciate you call in tonight for participate on the program, and we look forward for hearing from you in the future. Many thanks, sister.
Oh, okay, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you. Bye.
You're welcome. Bye-bye. Hello, caller.
Hello, Chief Priest.
Yes, waiting on your name and who you call from, please.
Priest, this is Ahmed from UK. Priest, the problem
Yeah.
who gets a chief of
Mm-hmm.
command when a mother bill who gets a president before then they do the election. I think mother bill for take responsibility for count peace. That's the way forward. The one we control the finance, we not the money, we control the army. We get the last order. It's just like a dad in a house. The beginning can make noise argument with their mama, but the bag get the last thing.
Yeah.
In this situation, ECS and talk to them, they don't listen. They talk to anybody, not listen. If mother bill want a peace, a stable peace, a stability in the country, he would do in 1 hour with honesty. But the problem we'll get in a salon, for example, who will get the war when they need the peace, they knock out constitutional rules, like compromise, like with peace in a salon. All these read and write rules they want to implement for to stop the peace of the country. Enormous. We get at 10 to 11 years wrong. Not a constitutional rules. Now with peace. The compromise. A leader, a family member, it's all about being compromised. Mother Bill, the one that within the advice and in need for rethink. The struggle too much. The country, everybody gets, they one way they can't talk. The politicians they are from APC, SLPP, now 3 foots politician them. Now they use self-benefit, but the power of the peace in that country lies in the hands of Mother Bill. The only way forward is Mother Bill. APC denied of election now, Mother Bill, we know, ECSLO. Then they know the benefits the people, you know the benefits me and you to say. Even in the Mother Bill, you know the benefits are. If you just want the straightforward, the God way, the things of the politicians in a salon, they don't get God fearing. The problem, like, the bad things they wait on, they pile up. Now they cause all the problems when Mother Bill don't know how to do things, which he know, he pretend. I know they call APC. APC, they're not on the rule salon. I know they call no other member of Mother Bill in cabinet. Not to them be the head of the country. For make peace now, then a house, the dad need for take responsibility, which is Mother Bill. All they want in their religious leaders, they wouldn't be well called priests. I'm telling you the honest truth. It's just drawing people into certain things that they don't supposed to be. But then let the religious leaders them. But they not to church case this. But then go to church. But then go to mosques. This the still a Mother Bill, the president of the country. It's problem they would have to solve.
Oh, let's go there, take hypocrisy and disturb the peace of the country. Come on, me where they sell na Kuto Road. You don't know what in an office yourself. If you want peace in the country, right? It will disturb even ways you don't oversee. If the country not peaceful, it will affect you in a year. We love the country. Sierra Leone is the one who come up. Now the thing they know say we love the country. But the people now when they rule the country, I don't know if they think they will still in the dark days. Now they affect Malawi in government. I remember in one video it says may the people use the internet properly. Now the internet then they use it now. Everything we do today, it can in a second or in a minute. The whole world don't know. So now they affect them. And I pray and ask Mother Bio, anybody who listen this, the advisor they now, may they go into compromise. The country need peace. Everybody don't fed up.
Okay.
Without peace, they get a stable life. That's not the way forward. They will get war. We go up the war. Now compromise na $9. Then also let them go out to judge them, lawyers them. No, that's compromise. Before the first show, I'll fear them. Cause late President Sudan Kaba, they cause him in front of me first. He still get he still want peace. I remember the RUF leader where cause him, and I Madam Biongo make them relation. Augustine Bau. He caused him in front of me first, and then the man still compromised until Sudan Kaba come back. He talked to Forest and he share power with man when a win election with. Is that not compromise? Was it a constitutional rule?
That's a compromise, but just a quick question because we got a caller and what they call. I know say you touch on that briefly, but one final time, what do you feel is the way forward?
It's Manabio to take leadership.
Manabio, when you say to take leadership, I mean that has to be defined because there a nuance.
Okay, my dear approval.
Okay.
When a problem can be in a home, who can defend with mother, who can defend with uncle, who defend with auntie, who can make noise. When you see the power drive, he back, or we say the worker they come, everybody they gonna share, right? The daddy they carry ask, and they take a call on Prince, me and you two, who go talk now, APC go come and talk, SLPP, they come and talk, other hypocrites one day, they come and talk. Manabio, the day we they ready for mix salon, get a stable peace in 1 hour, able to know the solution. This is just divide rule system. Now African leaders that get, and everybody don't wise, it can work. Me and you two Rhino Prince, more call peace one. Then go listen with. No. Mother Bio know the key. He own the key. Now he not the chief of staff. He own the key, he get the staff. He know the Prince Adam in talk and Abbas Mundu in talk. Now petrol and they just put more on the fire. And then all the politicians that they need to give with peace, they need to be quiet. They need to be quiet. For make them throw the RPG them to themselves, the gun them to themselves, the barrel to them. We don't need them. That poor mommy, that poor pa, you don't need them, please.
Okay.
The country is stable. Like me when they talk, so I don't think I would take phone and call or they say politicians. It's none of my business.
Okay.
It's everyone's business.
Okay.
Mother Bio need for take leadership.
Mother Bio need for take leadership. This now we hear from Brother Ahmed, and this is now one of the way forward. And many, many thanks, Brother Ahmed. Do appreciate your call tonight.
You're welcome, brother.
You're welcome. Bye-bye. So, Famulem, we're still here on the conversation, and we will take a few more calls before we close up the program. I'm not able to talk about the international side of things in terms of what happened in Niger and the broader ramifications, both within the African setting and the international setting. But we're quite satisfied with the conversation on what happened in Sierra Leone. Famulem, when we talk about pressure on the Mother Bio government, we mean them. There is international pressure. Then they come out and say but we know say we president-elect for fly, not so. If self don't talk Famulem, I go continue for fly. Now, you know, going at the how you call them, the conference now, Russia. There's a reason why. Because as a weak country, we are a weak country. Now, the strong country, they contrary to few years ago when Vladimir Putin be able to put 43 African leaders together. This time around, now only 17 able for bring up. Maybe they consider that as weakness, or I just highlight a few things because after all, there were 49 African delegations. In other words, president they will not go, then we get delegation and but we don't say we president and they miss the events there. The question is, why did he miss out? Now that, as they say, that's part of the pressure we they on we country and we leadership. Let me take one or two more callers then, and then we close this program. Let me see who is this. Okay, so we missed this. We missed that. Let's see. 1540. Let's take this US call. In UK, it's very late now. Yeah, in UK, it's very late, but in the United States, it's a different time zone.
Hello?
Yeah, hello, caller. Your name and who you call from, please? Ma'am, I believe you want to contribute to the program tonight on the Then and Now TV Media Empire platform. And if this is the case, yes, please go ahead. The floor is all yours, my dear sister.
Okay, sir. I want to tell you plenty thank you for what you do, sir. We love and respect you, sir.
Thank you.
One give me only two contribution. So me one go straight to the point where they talk about this thing with the APC them putting at the table for let the SLPP them, listen. I feel say the Mohammed Corner itself, well before that last start, me when they talk so, me now good APC person. I don't vote APC all my life, but I vote for Tijan Kaba because I look the individual and say Tijan Kaba na be a better option that day. So we swing, we come out to vote for him, we go to SLPP, and where Anes Besidom in first term was good, the second term not been good. Now we all been get that back. We will be in APC. We join force with the SLPP them and tell them, say, yes, we need for all the APC come out. Yes. We send a salon, we tell people, they say, we not for vote for no APC. We need a change. And we've been giving Madabio chance because we've been feel to say that time the Madabio we don't come before, if we don't see them as a president in Sierra Leone, we don't see him. So we say, okay, we don't forgive this man, let we give him chance back. And that time the Sierra Leoneans then be hot. So we look APC and SLPP, who's one be the better chance than in the 2018. We take the lesser one. Now we go to SLPP. We switch. But now, I think they pain me. These SLPP so-called supporters, them, some of them, not all of them, then see what in the so-called the leader don't can do. Now this one whole country, we've been divided, but this divide will don't see so. It don't go at its max, at its peak. Now the country, yes, me where they talk so. I'm married to a man we come on at the south. But me when they talk so, me not born Limba picking. So you don't mean to say where I be Limba, me man come on at the south, so that means to say for hate we safe. But where this president don't can sit also, it don't can show we so much, I don't understand, so much hate don't come between we now. In next on 10 days, so married also scatter. Trust me. One that ask me, man, I say, in a song on your region time, because I be look the way how them they behave when they burn them company hand and then they brutalize them company them because the social media don't make it easy for when the videos are out there. But then when you tell them, they will say they don't see it's either they cock or they're deaf, they're blind. Now so then they do. Not they see, not they read. And which is so bad.
Okay.
So now, yes, we join force to say Mother Bio can power. They put Mother Bio because we feel to say APC they need for get out that ending. If you don't win some of win up all APC picking them, we say they need for get out. Look with the other people a chance because not also for day. But now they send people they are SLPP, they see what Mother Bio don't do. We are not able to join forces with the people of Sierra Leone for pull this man come out. Other than they join them for let it terrorize some parts of the country, which not ever happen. And then they need the money. I say, wickedness they exist. They now go back. This aggregated for me. I want to use the platform, sir.
Please feel free and go ahead.
The man where they in charge of this election as alone, that corner man. I'm not sure say he gets them disaggregated form. Now that makes so they switch the pattern. They say, okay, APC people them, why APC if una get this? Una get one, una no go pull out. Corner no get aggregated form by data. Now my opinion, sir. That if they get our line, they don't pull and give it. You know to make us say so.
Yes, Jerry.
Corner make us say no get aggregated form. First of all, if Konami gets for don't show it, he don't get because what to do them, he don't set this election from 2018 when Mother Biosi done power. This election has been set. Nothing when they be don't set up. So then they don't focus for say, long go and get even the that registration, they register people them. Papa, now lie registration now for the icing of men. There was no data. Kone no focus pa no data where the hang up no registration pulling. All waiting is set now. Is set the sound. So una do the atrocity them. Anything where PC cancer so una drag them, una kill, una beat them. Nothing where they be don't set up. It is a well planned.
Let's go.
So now when it don't choke Kone na in towards now, they never ask now for this aggregated form. It won't get up. Una gonna cut. Una gonna cut. Papa. No for aggregated from no day. In no day. If like APC gonna cut safe, that thing they need to come out. So the only two of me feel say now, the country for do. Like I know one man can call away, don't talk. He say let everybody compromise. They no vote for them. With all, first of all, I'm Mother Bio go look we inside we yeah with the Sierra Leoneans them. You take with people then, you go keep them body them inside mortuary. The body they be done the prayer. We don't know. Someone said today they cry for a loved one. Say, we don't know to do them body they get. But I expect the people of Sierra Leone for be happy with that and go vote back for this man. Biofi say we stupid. Hell no, Sierra Leoneans are not stupid anymore. No lie, you know in this election.
Okay.
They focus on better form. Now they don't get up. And that is what we see and Kone can also. Nothing where they don't set, nothing where they don't plan. He say, hey, as they make so they call 60%. As to make so now call the balance and say now you win. Nothing you don't get.
All right, okay.
Nothing what they papa.
Okay.
They push it to the gonna cuts. Well, what you gonna get for the piece of the country? Una pull una yon and then gonna cut. In fact, the constitution of the country say you know for people aggregated data. Papa Kone, you know get nothing.
Okay.
You use constitution we know say you don't get nothing. Because you don't need focus on them. All you focus was for let Bio win. And you don't win now, you don't choke on a told.
Okay, my.
You know for say this time.
Okay, my.
I want to talk before they don't. There is always gonna be an ending process. It's like say this time, now it will be the ending process. So until when they happen consecutively, it can be an ending process. Well, Mother Bio, unfortunately, now you can't enjoy this ending process. If you be say APC now forbidden a power back, when this tear for be happen. But my papa, this get for stop. Unfortunately, now Mother Bio then a power. So now make it them on the SLPP there. But it get for stop. It get for stop because the party don't know the problem. APC and SLPP, they are just institutions. Now the individual, the way to go sit down there, now they're not the problem. Madam Biona, you can't wear this no more. It can be to say anybody safe. Someone I for me can't top this. So the problem now, when the SLPP in the tower, waiting like if you can't fall, Madam Bio in your ruling. Well, now so if you don't design certain destiny for less alone change for the better.
Okay.
Now, this now, the SLPP. So it gets for stop.
Okay.
It gets for
All right, sister. We take that on the basis that it has to stop. And I mean, just want to say we appreciate your contribution to the program very much, and we hold you in their respect. Many thanks for calling today, and we hope so you will call back again some other time. But your points are all noted. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. God bless you.
You're welcome. Hello, caller. Who's you call from and your name, please? Hello, caller.
Yeah.
You need to turn the volume down on the program. You watch the program, turn it down to 0. Okay, thank you very much. Your name and who's you call from, please?
I'm Daniel Sisse. They call from Freetown.
Daniel Sisse, many thanks at this particular time because it don't pass 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, and then you call. We really do appreciate that. But go ahead, please.
Yeah, thank you very much for this opportunity. What they give to us here, Unions, for let we able to express what they feel with him. You know, because maybe they say when people are not able to express what they feel with him, and it can result into violence, and it can result into so many other things where they make society safe, not able to get the necessary peace where they deserve. So I want to thank you for that, and I want to say you are the best when they come in terms of analyzing the issue.
Wow. Thank you.
You're so objective and to the point that your analysis, you look at both ends. And this, with Manning, they call say, this is somebody with the advocate for social justice. You're a progressive individual. So that's why I like your show.
Thank you. Thank you.
For me, we start there as a nation. At that point where we don't decide, since the establishment of democracy in 1991, the people of this country, they don't accept everything when you go and for the door within the principles of democracy. So any changes to the way the people and they think, to the way the people and mindsets don't become adjusted, they will get for fight back because it will become repulsive to them. And I waiting happen in our country, not only on June, but it's not like a slow train, you know, like a train moving in slow motion. We always wait for jam and the impacts now we see as a organ for Biara. Just imagine from the registration process where then starts and all these problems starts. The 101, every Sierra Leonean will see every step we the Bureau decision to take, the ACSL, they want to rig the election.
Okay.
People in the go for go vote, people in the go for go register. It is say them go carry with yellow card. When they carry with yellow card, they say no on a blue card. When they carry blue card, they say no on a bad certificate. When they carry bad certificates, they say no, that never expire. When they talk, they say no, let them go carry the chief. The chief can identify the people there. When the chief then can and say no, chief now one more chief identify. When the chief come now, the next chief then can say no, APC people there. When they come now for campus politics. This is how they did the registration process. And then do to such an extent, which make me vex. Me personally was from there. I mean, don't look at the election for this election and not go reflects the will of the people. You know, 2007, when Jankaba had the reins of power, the population for Freetown, rural and urban was 1,300,000. That is the voting population, 1,300,000. Why make in 2023 that population they go reduce for Freetown urban to a mere 500,000 compared to put local. Now Freetown urban they with the same population like put local. Imagine that. So when you look at Freetown, the voting population of Freetown now is almost over 2.5 million, rough estimate. Because this is 19 years back. This voting population of Freetown was 1,300,000. Let people go check the records. Come maybe they watch out. So now, coming to waiting on happens now. This election, from when this election don't start, the campaign don't start, the whole of the Southeast,
the Bill administration, waiting and do, then raise a reign of terror. Say no opposition member no Uganda for go campaign, specifically the APC. Then get away the things that we them say. APC say then can apart and go kill on all. APC say then can apart and go remove on all from offices. So waiting then ginger, they're not wait and still say they're not socks or ginger the people they're not for vote against the APC. Then waiting and they unleash the reign of terror. They chase people them from strongholds them of the opposition APC, then strongholds and Abu Kenima, chase them away from their homes. And they make them they burn certain offices them, they burn certain houses them, they beat people them. From even Abu go point out say this stadium would have been Abu, that man's a boy, and it's Koma Pilam. So the people of Gofini for appreciate. That's the first time I see them chase somebody out of your own town. Stay up for there, for left. And you know they get one statement from the president. You know they get nothing from him. But one anti-women one tells the Unions tonight, they will stand fast, they will stand strong, they will believe in safety. As long as they fight for democracy, they will continue to push for fight this fight. Because the anti-democratic forces there, the NSSF no say this is the fight they will never win. Because waiting there against them, it is not only the local population they ask them for seeing this data. It is not only civil society, some aspects of civil society. It is not only the opposition party they ask them, but this time it is the international community see release that data. But now you talk about a law. You say no, they for sure see for release that data. But when the law the way they tell you not for release that. When they tell you not for release the data. Don't forget say that and data. Now, a public document, a day for research, for academics, a day for business people, they want to do business, they want to do marketing. It also there for university, where of course, and you want to use that data, they will get accurate statistical information there, for do certain projects where they feel say good for this country. It also they get for government institutions there. They need that data. So it's a public document. When you go and first of all, when they ask for them. It's criminal. It's criminal because I believe say the Information Act, Freedom of Information Act, they ask you say any information when is union, if you release and to make it sound. It's a public document. Why they hold on to and it tells Ghanaian people that for see this document are not going to release and become law nothing. I will only release them at a point where we feel see it necessary for me. Okay, let's say for argument's sake, one law they will tell you see. Then you know it is. But for the sake of this country, peace, for the best interest of the country, and what you call fair play, then they ask for these documents. Why you not go pull them so that Sierra Leone this election, where una don't win, will get international acceptability. They will make a country, it will be at a very high pedestal, where they will not see for Sierra Leone a bastion of democracy. And the region. Look now, we get Guinea. Guinea don't sleep. You know, you consider Guinea as a democratic country. Mali, now Niger. You get recently Senegal, until the people fight back. You get Cote d'Ivoire. They're all. Now, the shining example of democracy in Sierra Leone was Sierra Leone and Ghana. Why President Bio and ECSL why invest against them? Why President Bio not think about his own legacy? About the image, waiting one left now Sierra Leone as a mind for make sure say urge ACSL if you win this election for urge them for pull this thing so that you will make a very good image of yourself as a Democrat you always on the claim. But they always tell you this, say urge the ACSL. This time getting responsibility for urge the ACSL or produce that data. Because which one more easier for going to courts? Or for let ECSL produce that data.
Yeah.
I think so for make ECSL produce the data, it's not easy. It ain't in the best interest of the country. It ain't in the best interest of democracy.
Yeah.
So as far as me concerned in this situation, we always want to ask, why make them people are not want to use this data? Is it because they don't do so many deceptive things in it? Is it because they don't undertake so many dishonest things in it? So all this one puts together, these are people that will just not let this country. And who will let this country? We for fight fight for make sure we employ all the resources within the international stage, within the local stage for make sure we're able to get what we call our own democracy.
Okay.
Now, one opening for salute, one opening for salute. And this opening, I believe, I'm going to redeem this nation. That's the voice of the church. The church, they don't decide to come together. But they are the only people who don't congratulate President Buhari. They are the only people who stand out for now, even though they're in the bash at them. But then voice don't they come out, then they do the UN investigation. And very soon, they will come up with a statement.
Okay.
Then the church not fail we. Because the judiciary don't fail. The parliament don't fail.
Okay.
Then you get the police, the army, they all don't fail. The voice of the church for speak out. Because the voice of the church and the voice of God. I mean, the church and the world, a representation of God. When they call up on religious leaders here, the church specifically for speak out and speak the truth and make sure they speak to President Bio for them to know that is easier to come out than going to camps. Because when you go to court, that it takes so many time and things are to be very slow. So that's the only singular voice we'll debate for now.
Okay.
Which the church will come up with.
Okay.
So I want to say thanks very much. Thank you.
Fair enough, and many thanks, brother, for calling the program. And your program, I mean, your voice will be heard by tens of thousands of Sierra Leoneans and other well-wishing Sierra Leoneans. Them. Thank you so much, brother, and good night.
Thank you.
Yep. That was a call from Freetown. So we come to the end of the program. We want to see whether we're able to just take one or two more, because there are so many calls tonight. It's unbelievable. It wasn't meant to be a call-out program. 2826 131 3428. Let me see if I'm able to take Lawrence Fox. Let's look for Lawrence Fox, brother Lawrence Fox. Yep. Yeah. I think this will be the last call for tonight. There are many other calls. Let's see if Lawrence still lay up. Yeah. Probably Lawrence don't retire. Okay. We go left this now. Anyway, Fambulem, I think we've done well tonight by trying to articulate the issues, and we make a very inclusive program in which Sierra Leoneans, they participate. This is democratic, and that's what we try to do. But every good thing must come to an end. We try for play or bring on the live screen everything we family see, so that at least you feel part of the program, whether it's divisive in a different sense. I mean, it don't have to be like extreme, like jihadist, because we'll not show it. But we show almost every other sentiment expressed by Sierra Leone and them. Tonight we had many calls. And for them calling day, we are eternally grateful for all the people that we call. But the show has to come to an end. And just before we bring it to an end, like I say, we try for air as many sentiments expressed by Sierra Leoneans them. Okay? And then we finally bring this program to a close. Yeah, there are so many. Famulem, it's been a TNN TV Media Empire program. Tomorrow, when it come to Una again, I mean, it doesn't end here. Let's be honest. It not end there no more. But good thing for bring to Una, and especially on what you will talk about. So, okay, especially what you will talk to Una about. So, Una watch out again tomorrow. We dey try for breakdown on waiting at the way forward. There's a clear impasse. How will they go beyond this? It's really important. But one last time, I want to say, Famulem, this is not the TNN TV Media Empire program. My name is Prince Emil Koma, and we've effectively come to the end of the program. Thank you so much for tuning in, for all the one that will contribute. Remember, say we get to do another live program, and we will hope for a from everybody. Thank you so much, and every good thing once more should come to an end. Good night, goodbye.